Rumble. Yeah, we've got a real release date now. It's officially happening, guys. After all the soft launches and pre-releases and sign-ups we've done, Sonic Rumble is going to be playable for everyone on phones and Steam. And I'm here today to tell you that if you've been questioning whether or not this game's even been worth the wait, you should not be thinking like that. Stop thinking like that immediately. Sonic Rumble is the game that I didn't know I wanted or needed, and I'm here to tell you today all the reasons I think you should be excited to play this game come next month. But right before the list, I just want to give a huge thank you to Sonic Gamer, Mr. Dreamcast, Wildwire, Elijah Perry, Keo Cartoons, and Noah Wizbios for supporting the channel. Click the join button below to get a shout out at the beginning or end of my videos. Number 5. Now this is gonna sound silly, but I think the controls in this game are really neat. Now that might sound a little, simple upon first hearing, but I need to explain myself here. Sonic Rumble was initially sold to people as sort of like a Fall Guys-esque game, right? And Fall Guys to me was a game that I enjoyed playing, but I didn't really like controlling. Now that's a different story though, because Fall Guys is a game where I would wager to bet that you're supposed to fall down occasionally, unless that title was just an unfortunate coincidence. So when I heard that Sonic Toy Party, or Sonic Rumble as it's called now, was going to be based on Fall Guys, my main concern was that it was going to be a very clumsy controlling game, sort of like that. But I'm very happy to say that that is not the case. Sonic Rumble is a very fast-paced, get-to-the-goal or battle-oriented style game, where you are constantly moving and trying to either avoid obstacles or other players, or go after other players yourself. There is never a dull moment in this game, and the thing that really helps that is that the controls are buttery smooth, especially on the PC version, which is what you're seeing now. And while I've got you here, I wanted to say thank you to the Sonic Rumble Creators Program for allowing me to actually have early access to this version of the game so I can show it to all of you. I've also been streaming this game if you're curious to see more gameplay in action, so make sure to subscribe and click the bell on this channel so you don't miss any Sonic Rumble gameplay. So TLDR this first part, it does not control like Fall Guys, but it is a very Fall Guys-esque game, so do with that information what you will. Number 4, something that I don't hold in the highest of regards when it comes to a project, but it certainly does help. The aesthetic is gorgeous. It's no secret that the Sonic the Hedgehog series has a bit of a problem with its models and its renders. Like, they've all been completely sauceless for the longest time, and they just refuse to get new models to sort of capitalize on things that people liked about the past models. For example, we see things like the Sonic Riders models that are very exaggerated proportions for what we normally see, but they are also extremely expressive. Some people really like the 06 models, because again, those proportions are exaggerated in a different way to make them look sort of lankier, a little bit more mature perhaps. But then you look at things like Sonic Generations and Unleashed and Frontiers, and modern Sonic, he doesn't really have anything to really make him stand out. His quill size changes a bit, and the entire internet loses their collective minds. Still think that's kind of silly. And for those who are not a fan of short quills, you might want to look away, because Sonic Rumble has a really nice art style, and his quills are really short. And I don't know, I guess I'm kind of into it this time. It looks pretty good. I'm really excited to see that this game is so stylized and nice. Like, all of the characters have this very appealing chibi art style to them, and it doesn't feel distracting or make them look too dissimilar to how they looked originally. And I think there's no better examples to point to than some of the larger characters in the franchise, like Dr. Eggman, who, even though his proportions have been drastically changed in very cartoony ways, I think he looks the best he's looked in a long time just because of how expressive he is and how his model ends up moving. Like, this dude's hilarious. Like, I love every time he's on screen. I think the Sonic characters themselves don't look super different from normal. It's just you can tell, obviously, they're almost a bit more classic-inspired with how pudgy and stubby they are. And I'm not sure if it's just evoking that classic art style that makes me feel this way, but I just love how this looks, down to the whole world itself looking like a giant toy box as well. Because after all, this game is technically just Dr. Eggman playing with little action figures. So points for originality and points for following through on the art style. I really appreciate that. Number 3, I'm really appreciative of all of the cosmetics that you can get in this game without paying a single dime for anything. Now, this game does have microtransactions, but it's another one of those things where you don't have to use them because it's all completely aesthetic based. If you want to unlock a skin faster, you're not getting enough red rings, you can pay for it. If not, you can keep playing the game, and the game is great and free to play, so you can keep playing it and earn your way to those cosmetics as well. Not to mention, when you start the game, you will have this thing called the starter shop, which instead of just giving you randomly selected costumes to purchase, you will instead work your way through the entire Sonic cast until you have all of the base skins, before you then go on to start unlocking the rarer versions of the skins and their alternate costumes. And very glad to report the starter shop itself deals in gold rings, and you get gold rings from playing the game. So work your way through those starter shop items, and you'll be on your way to having basically any skin you want in no time. And that doesn't even mention all of the emotes you can get, all of the buddies you can collect. What we have here is a very solid gameplay loop that keeps you rewarded as you keep playing, and I am really into that. Number 2, as a Sonic game, I really appreciate how fast-paced this game is. Now, this game is one of those mobile/PC games, and when you play it, it's definitely gonna look and feel like a mobile game in some regards, especially with the UI and, you know, how the reward systems work, where you have to go through all the menus and grab all your things separately. But that also comes with the benefit of speed, and you know what? That just so happens to be the perfect thing to include in a game about Sonic. The game consists of 3 rounds of mini-games where you collect rings and fight your opponents to try and avoid being eliminated. Each round doesn't take more than maybe 2 minutes, depending on what the mini-game is, and as soon as the round ends, the players are eliminated, and then the game moves on to the next round. Some of these rounds can be extremely quick. Like, I've had some elimination challenges where if you simply fall off the stage, you are eliminated. Those go by in maybe like 10 to 15 seconds, depending on who's playing with you. And then that lets you get right to the final stage, where you fight for your life and usually take like 3rd or 4th place, because the people who play this game online are kind of already cracked. So what am I talking about? Why am I saying speed is a good thing here? Well, if you're enjoying the game, let's say you get eliminated in round 2, you hit leave, you hit play, you're back in the game. It's almost like nothing happened. If you enjoy this game, you are going to be able to play a lot of this game, and you're going to be able to play a lot of it very quickly, and I feel like people are going to appreciate that. Like, at a time where video games can take forever to load if you're playing on the Switch, or maybe like a really beefy PC game or something, it's really nice to see a game that just proceeds so quickly, but in a nice manner. Like, it doesn't feel rushed or anything, it's just a wonderful gameplay loop at a perfect speed, in my opinion. And finally, the number 1 reason I think you should be excited for Sonic Rumble, and it's gonna sound very cheesy, and I swear it's not a cop-out, but I genuinely think that the biggest reason to play this game is going to be the sense of community from playing it with other people and your friends. I can't tell you the amount of times I've seen one of my friends in a lobby and just gone, I am going to destroy you. And that's not, like, in a violent manner, of course. I just mean, like, in the game, because it's a competitive game, and, you know, it brings out the competitive side in me. Or, in another case, we have people in my chat while I'm streaming the game saying, oh, that's me in the game! GG's, man, you did good! And it's just really nice to be like, yeah, good job to you too, that was a really fun match, can't wait to see what happens next game! And people are just always spamming emotes and the little stickers that pop up, and they're so beautifully drawn and happy looking, and people just seem like they're having such a great time playing this game. And I am too. Every time I get to the end of a round and I see people just dancing and celebrating after the finish line, it makes my heart swell up a little bit. Not in like a dangerous way, in like a I'm a really happy for you kind of way, but also might need an ambulance, I'm not sure. Everyone I've spoken to about this game and because of this game has been incredibly nice, and I'm just really glad that this game is finally going to be hitting shelves, so to speak, for everybody to play it and see this sense of community that I'm trying to describe here. This game is a special one. I'm gonna need you guys to keep an eye on this one and play this thing with me, because we're gonna be doing a lot of streams and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see some of those streams and maybe some other videos like this, please go ahead and subscribe and click the bell to follow everything I do. It's almost a little bit creepy. Also, feel free to join the Discord down below in the description. I'd also like to give a huge thank you to my current channel supporters, who are Sonic Gamer, Mr. Dreamcast, Wild Wire, Elijah Perry, Keo Cartoons, Noah Wizbios, Drabo, Jeremy, Valen the Jackal, Michael, CSDX, Nian, Dax, Faye, Mega Traffic Cone, Ty Little Tech Guy, Crystal. And on Patreon, we have Noah Wizbios again, and everyone in the $1 tiers as well. Thank you all so much for the support, it really means a lot, and if you would like to support the channel and make more videos like this possible, please go ahead and click the join button below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.